bad influence, good advice. We are back.
Let's go.
Banger. Come on.
Ring it.
Ring it. All right, I might as well. My name's Jeremiah. I am your host for today's episode. I hope you are keen. We've come with so much heat, so much love.
Different setting as well.
Different setting, yeah.
Different
Do you love
setting.
this one? Tell us what you think, and let's take it.
Yeah.
What's going on, my man?
Yeah, and for me, my name's Drew, or Andrew, for everyone that wants to be all formal.
Yeah.
The government names.
We are the government. Ooh, they give them my government. Okay, nah. Just call me Drew. Yeah, no, we're back with another episode. We're back with an interesting topic. So, yeah. We'd like to hear what you think. We'd like to share our opinions and, get the
Definitely.
word around.
Yeah. I'm Chingo, aka Nez. Thanks for tuning in. Give us the feedback and let's get going.
Let's take it. Let's
Take it up. Yeah.
Take it. So, host man, what is our topic of the day?
What's on the plate tonight? What's for dinner?
Today's topic is actually something that I came across when I had a conversation with someone from school.
Yeah.
So every time we're learning, hey,
Mhm.
but what are you unlearning?
What are you unlearning?
Yeah, because
Mind blown.
Okay.
it's like, so today's topic is 7 things to consider unlearning.
7 things to consider unlearning. This is
Where we
a
start,
very interesting topic because throughout the whole of last week,
Mm.
there's this one guy that I was talking to, and every single day would link up.
Mm.
He would drop some random fact, like random knowledge. He would talk about, what is life? Oh, have you ever thought of
Is
this?
this what I
Oh,
think it is?
no, it's not.
Alright.
And then at the end of it, every single time without fail, I'd say, oh yeah, it's cool to learn something new every single day, right?
Mm.
So now, having this topic, I didn't even think about it. 7 things to consider and learn.
Learning.
Mm.
Oh, okay,
7.
okay. I like.
Not too hard, eh? All right.
Where do we start? What's the first one?
So the first one I would say
For you,
is-
what's the first one?
my first one from my experience is you're not supposed to be liked by everyone. It's okay to not be liked by everyone.
Yeah.
You're not money. Not everyone should want you. Not everyone should like. I learned the hard way. Hey, I used to be somewhat a people pleaser,
Yeah.
but I feel like to some extent I've grown. I'm still growing, but
Yeah.
I had to learn the hard way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very powerful. Not
do you
everyone is
think?
meant to like you.
Not everyone's meant to like you. I mean, that's a very powerful one because in the sense of it, if you think about it, to a degree, if you're a people pleaser, just like you said, right? You will be running around in circles trying to like get people. Like someone says, "Oh, could you do this for me?" Without a second thought, you will be the first person
Literally.
in line. You'll be like, "Okay, yeah, I can do it," even if it's impossible. You put yourself in the line of fire, thinking, "You know what? Because it's this person has asked, I'll do it." Regardless of the person, even if the person just half says it, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, could you do this for me?" And they don't really care, But I like it. I like it.
I was
You don't have to be liked by everyone.
You don't have to. I was stuck in the same cycle as well because, like, just being a people pleaser, doing things for everyone, like just like doing things, and then I'd realize that it was so overwhelming. It was kind of like overwhelming actually because when I needed like support, I needed like where's everyone? Like, dude, like they did this, they did that. You know what I mean? And instead of realizing that, I'm building my life on sand.
Yeah. Keeps on slipping.
You know, man.
Slipping.
People are like sand, like they'll shift and whatever. But I was like, So
You need that foundation,
everyone's
that
meant to like you.
core foundation.
yeah, you're not meant to pour into everyone as well because it just becomes exhausting as well at some point.
It's capacity, eh?
Just a quick note on not pouring into everyone. What you put out or what you allow to sink in affects you greatly. But that's a topic for another day. I just thought about that real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. What do I have for my thought? Unless anyone wants to add onto that little point.
That was powerful. Not everyone's meant to like you. Yeah.
Not everyone's like I think it sounds so cliche, like, not everyone's meant to like you, but just like,
But do we not live in a generation where like kind of like girls thriving off of the energy of like everyone has to like them? Kind of like, people get depressed if how come nobody likes me?
Yeah.
Nobody commented on this. And there's that energy of like pleasing society of everyone wants to have likes on the gram. So what is the line between not everyone liking you to how does someone get out of that like Because it's one thing to say like, oh, not everyone's meant to like you, but how does someone go from a state where they feel like their whole world needs to like them to a place where they're like, not everyone needs to like me. Not everyone will like me.
That's a good question. I think for me it was like when I got to the point where I realized, damn, I'm not that important. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of times we expect what people expect from, or what we tend to think that people expect from us. You know what I mean? So it's like if I'm doing something right, I feel like, this person is entitled to like me. Whereas it's like I'm not that important. Sometimes sometimes you're walking and you feel like, damn, everyone's looking at me.
True, but no.
It's like you're not that important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just to add on to that, like no one is indispensable as well.
Yeah.
Jesus is not, like God is irreplaceable, but everyone, like you think of like work, people pour so much into the work, but like you leave that job today and they'll find someone else.
Someone mentioned this last week.
You know what I mean?
Someone told me last week, they were like, yo, if you leave your job now, they'll replace you.
But your family would never replace you.
Never.
And we spend the least amount of time with your family.
Your family.
And yet we spend the least amount of time with your family and always want to be at work. So
I feel it's because like family is like more of obligations. It's like you love, because have you heard of loving someone who's hard to love? Because like family is like, you're obliged. You know what I mean?
really,
I feel that's my experience with family. It's like you have to. So like if we're brothers, you know those families where, you know, maybe the siblings just don't get on well, but
yeah,
just because you're bound by blood, so it's like you're entitled to step up.
it doesn't have to be like that though.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
I disagree with this one. I disagree. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's from my
Respectfully and disrespectfully, I disagree.
yeah.
No. Okay, I get what you're saying. Bound by blood, that makes it be like, okay, even if you don't like the person, you still do anything for them, right?
Yeah.
Is that your point?
But is that love? Is that really love?
That's not love.
Is that really family?
I mean,
Or
if
is
you
that
think
just
about it, most okay, in like a broad perspective, siblings love is more of like they won't show that they care, but they really do care kind of thing. But if you're talking like in the general sense of like, okay, extended family and all that, where it's like you haven't met the person in 12 years and then they hit you up and like, yo, what's up? Just catch up, like, well, let's talk. And then you don't want to, but because it's extended family, they're still family, so you feel like you have to. Is that?
But if it's a close family, if it's like your mom or like your brother, is that what you're trying to say?
If it's your mom or your brother, you just be like, yeah, I'll do it. You just jump in. First thing, no thought.
But that's the thing. That's obligation. You're like, because I'm obliged.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is one question that I asked someone once. If both of you have siblings, right?
Yeah.
If your siblings weren't your siblings, would you still be friends?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Good question.
As a
No comment now.
Now that's the question for everyone out there. If your siblings weren't your siblings, would you still be friends? Because some people, it's like,
But not every siblings have to be friends though. You know what I mean? You don't have to be friends with your sibling.
Yeah.
It's family.
that's where obligation
Like
comes.
I've got friends that are my friends, and after a while they transcend friends and they transcend into a family. Where like, you're no longer my friend, you're now family, and that is like I don't see it as obligation. I see it as kind of like the VIP.
You've graduated.
Where you're like now part of the inner, you know what I mean? Inner circles. Yeah.
But if they, let's say, for instance, maybe they did something really foul, you can cut them off. It
Yeah,
might
they're
take a bit
friends.
of time.
But that's to Jerry Standard.
If your brother stole from you,
Yeah.
you might talk to him.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But like there's that kind of obliged.
You're obliged. Yeah. Fair enough.
work
Yeah.
around that. That's what I'm trying to bring across.
Okay. Okay.
So Jerry won, Nez and Andy 0.
Hey. What's
We'll start keeping. We'll keep
track.
count. We'll have a little tally board.
What do we have second?
Our second would be coming from me. I would put it on negative self-talk.
Negative self-talk.
Basically,
the power of the tongue, pretty much.
from my understanding of this one, it would be you'd be like, ever be in a situation where it's like you wake up in the morning like, oh, today's not gonna be a good day. Oh, this isn't gonna work out. You're doing something and you're like, oh, it's not gonna work out. Anyway,
Yeah.
you just talk yourself down.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait.
No. Listen.
I see
No.
something. No. Yeah, go ahead. It looks like there's some experience.
I've been in situations where I don't know if it's from intuition or it's just from like, I don't know, my body, my intuition speaking to me, but where I've kind of like just been negative about something, like this is something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Like something's gonna happen, and then something happens. So I feel like negative talk actually is, like there's life and death on the tongue.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Oh, there's many ways. First of all, I never thought about this. So me and a few friends of mine, brothers, they transcended friendship. Brothers, yeah. We've had this motto that we've been running with since even before 2014. It's focus, consistency, and hard work. Right? When I was reading about the negative self-talk, there was a little bit that said consistency and commitment are ways to boost yourself out of it, right? Because the negative self-talk is something that you don't think about, it just happens.
Yeah.
But if you have that consistency that I'm going to see this through, I'm going to keep on doing this, even if it doesn't work out, I'm still going to push. Your mind starts shifting, and then now you start having a positive outlook. It starts building on a positive aspect, because now you're looking forward to whatever you're doing. Your consistency is pushing you. It's your drive. And now it's like, oh, okay. This isn't working out. I'm still going to do it. And because you're pushing through, you start seeing the results, and that builds on you. Now it's like, oh, okay, I'm pushing through. This is working out. And you start seeing the results.
Yeah.
Slowly, your mindset gets changed.
Definitely.
That's how you learn.
Another way that I've been doing it is journaling. So I journal, right? And I write down a negative thought that I have.
Yeah.
And then, because I understand there's power in thoughts and power in words and power in whatever you're thinking. Like, someone said, I don't know where I heard this. Your thoughts are just as powerful. I think I heard it from Faith's podcast. Shout out to Faith.
Faith.
Your words are just as powerful as your thoughts are just as powerful as your words. So what I do is when I journal, I kind of write down my negative thought, and underneath there, I write down a Bible verse that contradicts what that lie is, because the devil is the father of all lies. Therefore, everything that is not true is coming from him. So it's whatever, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this. And then I'll say, but this verse says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So why am I stressing? So it's like, and that really helps to unlearn all those negative self-talks.
That's a very good one.
Big Man Jay, what do you think?
That's amazing. I think it's look at how you put me on the spot. I think it's really amazing to be able to unlearn how to be subconscious and how to be in the moment, know when you're being your self-sabotaging.
Be your worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly.
Exactamundo.
Yeah.
I like that one, because what you said reminds me of what we're learning at church, which is like faith.
Yeah.
Moving in faith, working in faith, and all that, right? Sometimes just believing or moving without knowing what you just in your mind. Because another thing, just backtracking, was I heard someone say your words are influenced by your thoughts. So whatever you think comes out as words. Whatever you speak, it basically happens around you. So on that, I was like, oh, damn it, I've lost my track of thought. I was going somewhere with this. I can't remember. Anyway, carry on.
Now we get you.
About what you're learning at church, about speaking and everything. Faith.
My brain's.
I was looking for the verse that says, "A man speaks from a heart." Like from a man's heart is what verse is that? The one that talks about the heart. About the heart, everything that a man does flows from their heart.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. A man does flows.
Okay.
Come on,
well, I
guys.
was also doing that before I listen again.
Yeah.
So having that faith to drive you forward, saying, okay, this is going to happen. I don't see it. It's going to happen. Is also another way to help you unlearn. It's a process, because you are telling yourself it's going to happen. Whatever you want to happen.
Definitely.
Whatever you've prayed for is going to happen. You don't see it happening, but because you believe in your heart and in your mind that it's going to happen, it forces you. Or it doesn't force you, but it reinforces the positive thinking.
Yeah.
And then as time goes, as you pray and you see things start to unfold, you then, feel better. You start coming out of that negative self-talk, and then you build, and then you have a positive outlook.
So Proverbs 4 verse 23.
Preach.
Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. So everything you're doing actually comes from the heart.
Yeah.
And that's why change in a man's life happens twice. First time it happens in your heart or your mind. The second time change happens on the outside. Change never happens from without.
Yeah.
The next thing to unlearn, ladies and gentlemen, is people think that if my friend's winning, I can't really support this person. We are in this system of like crabs in a barrel, where if someone's trying to get out of the barrel, then we can't, especially as black people, we can't support them. We can't assist them because, if they win, then I'm getting a zero. But bro, there's so much, there's so much there's so much cake for everyone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's.
I read something recently. God's pie is not equal to 3.14. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God's pie is massive. There's more for everyone, and we have to get out of this thinking about this thought process that kind of makes us stuck to zero stakes game. Help me out, boys. My thoughts are just like, what are you saying? But how do you unlearn? How do you come out of this like mentality of, this guy wins, it means I'm getting a zero, it means I'm nothing because he bought a new car, it means I'm losing? Like, no, bro, there's 5 other cars at the showroom, you can go and get one as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you get out of that space?
Learning to be complacent with what you have. There's a long time ago, I don't think you remember this conversation that we had. You asked me, what's the greatest thing you could achieve in life? Something like that, right?
Did I?
This was guys, maybe like,
it wasn't me.
Guys, I'm wise. Sometimes I even get shocked. I may have said that. Nah.
This was maybe like a year and a half ago.
Really? Yeah.
And one, I had 2 answers. I can't remember the first one, but the second one was, what was it? It was, I said something like lift as you rise. Basically, the whole concept was lift as you rise. As you go to the top, you lift everyone around you, and you keep on building on that.
Yeah.
So that's one way of looking at it, shifting and being like, okay, as I go up, I'm helping the people around me to also go up. So you're all on the same level. You're moving. You're not competing. Of course, there's that friendly competition to drive you forward, because some people work off competition. Like, okay, it motivates them to keep on going. Like if you go into the gym and you see a guy benching like 40K, in your head, you're like, I could do like 41. Somewhere in your head, you're telling yourself that. So the lift as you rise is going to be something that I would say could help you unlearn that habit.
I'm trying to find this line from Nastasy's song. There's a song where he says, there's no doubt that the boy kind of represents power. So like, why stop this boy when we can use this power that he has to enhance the good of everyone else? You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, I feel like when God wants to bless people, God kind of blesses people using people.
Of course.
So if my cup feels it only starts to overflow in other people. So if I have an opportunity, then I'm going to put you on. I'm going to put my bros on. Everybody wins. If I win, we all win. My win. So that's how I unlearn it. I don't see his win as me losing. So whatever he wants to do, I'm like, bro, how can I help you? Like, how can I be number 1 train for you? Because I know that when you win, I win.
Exactly.
But that's not always the case though. Because sometimes people win and they just switch up,
But
I helped you.
But I mean, like, one very powerful thing that I learned from Nez. I remember there was one time, like, I was just going through the motions, and then I would be like, bro, like, this is what's happening, and da-da-da-da. And then I would tell him all this, and then his response was so profound. He'll be like, but why are you worried? We'll always build kingdoms, you know what I mean? We'll always build empires. Like, it's coming from a place of abundance. A lot of people come from a place of lack. Yeah. So I like, bro, I don't like
Wait, when you're a parent, hit the better. Because when your parent says, they know something really is coming up.
You heard me say, just know that it's deep. But I believe, like, when you ask for things from a place of lack, as opposed to from a place of abundance, it's like there's a huge juxtaposition, because it's like, I'm asking you because I can perceive it. The fact that I can perceive it means already it's happened. Like, people say things happen twice. First in your mind,
that's the one.
Reality. You know what I mean? So it's like, in your mind, if all that's in your mind is lack. So if Nez is winning and in my head is like, I don't have this. That's why there's a book I'm reading, and then there's a really interesting part where it's like, a lot of people, when they're starting a business or they're trying to, commit to a fitness journey, they always ask, how am I going to do this? But like, how is quite a wrong question sometimes. You know, so I feel just unlearning
So-
that.
And then
Wait. What would be the right question be if how is the wrong question?
If how is the wrong question, ask yourself, what is the bigger picture? Asking yourself questions to do with the actual situation. How can I make this possible? Not how am I going to have the money? How am I going to, like,
Yeah.
it should be from a place of abundance.
Okay.
I feel the how is all right, but what
How-
differentiates it is it from a place of lack? If, let's say, I'm starting a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows SoFit is the next big thing. It's the next
Shout out
fitness-
SoFit, our
SoFit Life
sponsor.
is the next
Our sponsor.
is the next big fitness brand.
Yeah.
So if I'm always asking myself, how am I gonna have the capital? How am I gonna? I'll just get overwhelmed. Yeah.
yeah,
But if I'm asking myself like deep questions like, how can I generate capital to fund the first step?
yeah,
How can I be better? How can I produce videos? It's from a place of, it's just abundance versus lack.
Yeah.
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 just to add on to that, I think it's also how can I add or how can I start with what I have? So many times I talk to people and they're like, oh, I have this idea and I can't start because I have no capital. Or, oh, I want to do this and that. I'm like, dude, like, but what do you have in your hands?
Yeah.
Because I think I was listening to a sermon a few days ago where it says that, you know, that when every miracle that Jesus ever did, he used what was already there. When he turned the water into wine, he used the drams of the water that were already there. When he was multiplying the bread, there was the bread and the fish. I was like, what do you have in your hands right now that you can use to start, you know? I talk to people and they're like, no, but like, I can't do this. But like, that's the scarcity mentality, which is a very negative one. Like there's an abandoned mentality whereby how can I start with what I have,
Yeah.
you know? And then how can I scale up from where I'm at to where I want to go to? That is the better question to ask than I don't have money, I don't have capital, which is just, you know,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
That's a very good one.
Yeah.
That is a very good one.
That's good. So for number 4, we have, it's okay to not be on time, but it's not okay to be late.
Isn't that the same thing?
Explain that one.
No, that's the same thing. Hey, like say twice.
Huh? Nah, look,
That's the same thing twice.
this is I'm coming from a bird's eye as opposed to a short time frame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're working towards certain goals, you're trying to achieve certain things. Sometimes I am a victim. I've always been the person, like, I'm so fixated on something. I'm like structured. And sometimes it's okay to not get to, like, you know, we've been taught that by the time at 20, you need to have graduated school.
True.
By the time at 25, you have to have your first job. By the time at 30, whatever, you need to have your first house. And in as much as age is just like a reference to progress, that doesn't determine really whether you're late or not.
Yeah.
By me saying it's
So
okay.
it means late is in time, is in life, not necessarily like being late for an interview, right?
No.
Because that's what I thought. Like,
No.
Don't worry, you and me both. No, like I pictured myself like running late for interview. Like,
yeah, I was like, but I'm not on time.
No, that's why I said it. It's okay.
It's
okay to not be on time, but it's not okay to be late.
But isn't that kind of like, so if society has said that people should get a job at 22, is that really what the time should be? Because everyone's life is different.
I feel it's a reference because it's necessary, because it's like, you shouldn't be, there's a line between don't be slack.
Because how much of that is also following society's template? Because it also sounds like following society, like being late itself. Like your time is different to my time. It's different to God's time as well. Because God's time is out of our realms.
Exactly.
So for you, it could be like in 2 years' time, your business grows to $1 billion company. For me, it might take me like 10 years plus 4. You know that? You know what I mean? So how much of that is actually like the template of the word, because the word has set up a template where everyone is meant to do things. Or you have to go to uni. When you finish high school, go to uni, get a job, get married, die.
Yeah.
Work,
structure.
That's the structure. But how much of that, on time is actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Part of the template, or like, how do you define what time is right? Because, there's a Vemba proverb that says, mango on a tree doesn't ripen at the same time. So one of the mangoes could ripe. It's the same season of ripening now. But one of the mangoes is ripe and the other one's not yet ripe. It may take like 4 more weeks for that. So what's the time?
I don't think there's right or wrong, to be honest with you. I just think it's about, that's why I say time is just a reference point.
It's a reference, yeah?
It's just a reference point. Because obviously it's like, if you are 25, there's some expectancy for you to be able to reach a certain level of maturity, right? But then there's like a fine line between you not being able to accomplish everything that, you know, the world thinks we should. But then there's just like an expectancy. So I feel there's a lagging phase where it's like you can be in there,
Yeah.
you know, but don't be like, I don't know. I would say like, I'm the person like, don't be slack.
Yeah, true.
Don't be
I
slack.
just don't like the idea of like the cultural template,
Mm.
like the
It's
pressure of
it's already determined
But I
what
think-
you have to do.
But I think pressure is necessary at the same
Definitely.
time, because it's like if everyone's just like chilling and just like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like,
no, but sorry, man. Yeah, it's just
I like the back and forth. I like the back.
no. What I think is, I think it's different views, like amazing views. It's always a 3D picture because everyone think we human beings think in 2D. I think, and when someone brings a thought, the other person brings a thought, other person brings another thought, we create a 3D picture
Yeah.
that is a more accurate depiction of what we're trying to describe.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, because Jerry took me on a
Took him on a tangent. Yeah. I get what you're both saying, but to end it, I'll say
choose. Is it me or Nez? Nah, I'm kidding.
there's a bracket.
Jerry one, Jerry two.
There's a bracket. Was both of you are right at the same time. Quantum physics. It's a yes and a no at the same time. That's a topic for another day. I would say there's a bracket, like you said, like you have to, when you reach a certain age, your maturity level has to go from here to there, right?
Yeah.
I'll say it's not like a specific thing, but it's a bracket.
But how do you determine maturity? How can you quantify maturity? That's what I'm trying to say.
Stages of life.
It's dynamic.
Stages of life.
Stages of life.
Stages of life.
Yeah, but I could get married now and not still be mature enough to get married. You know what I
you
mean?
would be
Like I'll tick a box that society says you should tick that box, but does that mean I'm actually mature? Because I think setting up like what people you have to do makes people rush into certain things.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm 25. Oh, damn, I should have a house. Let me get a house. But I'm not financially in the position to get a house. My friend is in a position to get, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
feel like, who sets the standard? Who sets the template? Is it you or is it
The
society?
generation before. Generation before.
But they lived in a world that does not exist anymore.
Exactly,
So-
but they do have influence.
Where's my case?
But they do have a great influence because
Definitely, yeah.
they're the ones that will give you the advice. They'll give you the direction.
Yeah.
They'll give you the direction, and they'll let you decide. They'll just tell you, oh, in my day I did this. Oh,
Yeah.
when I was this I did this, and that paints a picture in line with what society is, and then you sort of like, oh, they did this, but at this age people already have
True.
done this,
Yeah.
or at this age they did it
Because
so
bro,
much
my granddad
earlier.
would be like, at your age, out of the house. And I'm
There
like,
you
bro,
go.
like the
There
interest
you
rates
go.
now are, you know, like the house. You know what I mean? So it's, yeah.
Do you know what I think, gents?
Mhm.
I think there's principles. Like
Principle.
there's principles. Say, let's say the famous principle: give and you shall receive, right?
Mhm.
Definitely.
So it's not like, Nez give 100K
Yeah.
at church or as a tithe.
Mm.
I think it's
Which he did, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen.
I saw that coming.
I think it's more so the principle behind it. So it's like if I'm giving literally everything I have,
Yeah.
the principle of me sacrificing
Mm-hmm.
is what's determining the whole outcome of the situation.
Okay.
So even the same way we're going back and forth, is the right time, 20 is the right time, this and that.
Yeah.
I think it's just the principles that underline the whole, determining factor of whether time should be measured as past reference or just what you've done or whatever, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it's like, I think the principles that are underlined, like the disciplines that govern all of that.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think it's so much
Yeah.
principle.
Just to sum up, can you just say it again? It's okay to.
It's okay to not be on time.
Yep.
But it's not okay to be late.
To be late. Okay. So I was listening to this motivational guy, like, and he was saying every time you're running late for a meeting or interview or anything, don't go there and say sorry I'm late. Say sorry to keep you waiting,
Ooh.
because the way you phrased it kind of.
Kind of shifts.
As
What
a
did
little,
you
as a
say?
little,
Yeah.
as a
Oh.
little cheeky,
So-
eh?
So if I come up late,
Watch me
sorry,
do this for my next appointment.
sorry to keep you
This guy's
guys
gonna
waiting.
come to his wedding and say, sorry to keep you waiting. And everyone is there.
Don't say sorry I'm late. Yeah,
Don't say so you're
but that was good, Jerry. Yeah,
That was
amazing.
a good point. That drove us.
Yeah.
that's Roberts. What's the next one?
What do you have on number 5? How are we looking?
Something to unlearn. Perfectionism.
Things to consider.
Perfectionism. Ooh.
Perfectionism.
You know, being perfect, like really, it's good to be perfect, but there's a point where it starts pushing you back. And like you would have, okay, let's say you have a project, you want to build a car.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, okay, in your mind, you've got like, okay, it has to look this way. The tires have to be this way. The moment you start putting everything together, you look at it, it's done the way you've envisioned it, right? But the angle, the small edges, they don't fit right. And then you start working on it again.
Yeah.
So a project that could have easily taken you 1 year, 10 years. Now you've been wasting your time.
True.
10 years.
Yeah.
Everyone's been waiting. They're like, they know that this thing is running. They know that this thing is perfect. It's already good enough. It's like more than good enough already. But
God is saying something in the house.
And I just guys looking at me because
God is saying something in the house.
I've been look, where's the line between, because I know the kind of person I am. I'm not, there's perfectionists who like literally peak everything.
I think that's me, bro.
sure.
I'm literally like,
you know,
everything has to be,
and then there's people like me. For me, it's like, look, this will sound very strange, but I'm not really worried about the next guy maybe coming to church after having like a fallout the previous day and coming to church. For me, it's like, let's get everyone to heaven. You know what I mean?
True.
I look at the bigger picture. I'm not really worried about, oh, no, this guy's doing this. How come this guy's dressing like this? Like, that's valid. But for me, I'm more of like the bigger picture. You know what I mean? That's my personality trait.
Yeah.
I stand to be correct.
No worries. It's your opinion. You're entitled to tell your opinion. So,
Okay, cool.
The perfect thing is, I listened to something by Tyler Perry recently, and he was saying no one is 100%. No person on this earth is a perfect human being.
But I'm perfect though.
The only perfect in Christ, you are. The only perfect person is Christ, Jesus Christ, and we constantly trying to be like him because he's the example, right?
Yeah.
And Tyler Perry was saying what usually happens in relationships is that someone will be 80%. Someone will give us 80%.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are like so obsessed with that 20%, like, oh, it's just not enough because I want that 20% more. Okay. And then someone else comes that's offering 20%.
Yeah.
And then the person might think, oh, this is 20, that's the 20% that I'm missing.
Yeah.
And then they move on to the other person only to realize that 80% is lost. And you only realize what you know what I mean? Because there's nothing like a perfect thing. It could be a job as well. You could be working in a perfect job, perfect everything, but you think, oh my God, like this is only 80% of what I want right now. That next job, that next big promotion will give me that the 20% that I need.
Yeah, and you keep on going.
And then you want, and then you go into that next phase and you realize,
there's nothing that's perfect. And you keep on bouncing, and in your head you're like, oh, okay, this is perfect. But the moment you get there, you start looking and you're like,
and you think, oh my God, I missed out on
one.
Yeah. My job was actually better. Like I had more time there, and I was, I had more free time. So, yeah.
Yeah, perfectionism. Something to unlearn. How do you unlearn? Okay, now for how to unlearn is you have to accept that not everything's going to be perfect. You have to you have to allow room for error. It's not going to work out, of course, maybe like the first time, the second time, the third time, but keep going and it will eventually get to a point where you're happy with it. It's going to work out fine.
Yeah.
So that acceptance in that there's going to be an error in almost everything. Even in assignments for those uni students
Preach,
out
brother.
there.
Preach to me, brother.
Doing assignments. It's not that there are times where it's going to be very, very, very good in the first try, right? But lecturers will always point out the little things. They'll be like, oh, you didn't do this. Oh, what about this?
You would do an assignment, stay up, like, literally, like, I used to always work hard on an assignment, do them before, whatever.
Yeah.
And there would always be something that's coming up.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then the ones that I do the night before,
why
not just get like 95s and this? So I'm like, you know what? That system is rigged. I might as well.
So yeah, that's my thing. What would you advise?
So it's someone who's trying to unlearn
perfectionism.
I would say just getting comfortable, like the same way you put it, getting comfortable with the fact that you can't have everything, but you can have anything. I think for me, it's like I'm really trying. Like, look,
Jerry loves the juxtaposition. Saying you can't be late, but you can be on top.
Funny enough.
I can't wait to read your book, brother.
My book is coming soon, It's coming soon. I just think it's okay. Like when you understand. For me, I'm very much aware of the fact that I try to have everything, but I've gotten to the point where it's like I'm chill. I understand if I don't get, the Porsche, whatever, it's fine. It's not the end of the world,
For those people that want to buy him a car, he said Porsche, so just letting you know.
No.
But another way of unlearning is also just embracing your imperfection. You know what I mean? Because I have a friend that has like a kind of a physical insecurity where it's like, oh, this part of me is not like, I don't know, and for me it's kind of like I look at it like ripped jeans are more pricey than actual jeans that are like full. It's that imperfection that gives them the value that they are.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So like I look at all my imperfections as perfections. Like this is what makes me that different person from, you know what I mean? But also it's not like being, because some people are like, oh, this is who I am. Like there's also a thin line between when it comes to personalities.
Others and be aware.
Yeah, when it comes to personalities as well, like if you have a, I don't know, negative trait, you probably have to work on that. But when it comes to like your physical appearance, like I think that definitely, whatever it is, whatever imperfection that you're battling is what defines you as a person, because, it's like a dent in that design, which makes you more pricey than anything else.
That makes you pricey.
Yeah.
Pricey.
Ooh.
So what's the next one? You're the next one, yeah? The next thing to unlearn?
Perfectionism. Oh, wait.
I'll drop the next one.
No, I got the next one. I got one.
I was gonna say on that.
I got one. You can add the last one. You can add the seventh one. There's 7 things to unlearn, ladies and gentlemen.
7 things
That
to
was
consider
the fifth.
unlearn.
Consider unlearning. Yeah, that was the 5th one.
Yeah.
So the next one is the imposter syndrome.
What's the syndrome?
I suffer from this greatly. You know what I mean? So I feel like I've worked so hard in my life. I'm still working hard for my goals and where I want to be and whatever.
Are you working hard or are you working smart?
I think I'm learning to work smart. The other thing I've been unlearning is I'm learning to work hard and learning to work smarter.
So are you giving us 2 for 1? This is a 2 for 1 special.
Learning to, learning quickly. But anyway,
hard work is necessary. But anyway, you were saying.
But hard work is necessary, but smart work goes further.
It's priceless.
It's priceless. It's amazing. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Imposter syndrome, pretty much like where you feel like I've been in situations where I'm in a room full of like bright people and smart people, and I'm thinking, damn, am I really meant to be?
Damn. Like the way.
Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You know what I mean? Like, am I really meant to be here? Like, I'm lost. You know what I mean? And it's humbling. And then what do you guys think?
I'm still trying to take it in imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I've also been in situations where it's like, oh, I'm meant to be in. Oh, let me give you an example of work, right? So at this point, I was assigned to do a task that, in my head, I could do it just fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that they just gave it to me on the spot, they were like, "Yo, do this," and in my head, I was like, "Okay, I can do this," but can I really do? Like I started self-doubting.
Yeah.
I was like, "Can I really do this? Is it me, or what if I mess up?" But I was like, "Yeah, nah." Immediately after, I was like, "Nah, I can do this. It's easy."
Yeah.
But that beginning,
it's always
like, "Yo,
am I meant to be here?
is this me?
Am I in the
Am I
right place?
supposed to do this?
Yeah.
Is this meant for me?" Like, those questions started rolling in my head. So, yeah.
Even just me on the podcast sitting next to all these great individuals.
Yeah,
it's great, man.
Giving us a flowers. I think that's really important, because I've come to realize like it's very important to like be able to learn about yourself.
Yeah.
I've come to learn that for me, I get overwhelmed when I've got a lot of stuff, when I'm starting new stuff. In as much as I may seem confident to the eye, like I know I've
Internally.
like even just say for example, right?
Internally gasping.
I moved gyms, right? I started going to a different gym. So just that new concept of going to a new environment, or like when I'm just doing getting into a new job, new position, like I naturally just get overwhelmed. So just being aware that, and then when have you noticed like where you start doing something and you're like, damn, this is actually hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just having that, this is like a way to work towards becoming comfortable with that, imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I think before I was adding that feeling also kind of makes you humble and gives you some humility, because I think it's better for you to go into a situation feeling like you're not meant to be there than for you to walk into a situation feeling like, I know the ropes, I know everything, like I'm the king, I'm meant to be here.
Agree to disagree.
There's a Bible verse that says, when Christ says that when you go to a wedding, don't go and sit in the prestigious seat. and then someone more prestigious is gonna come, and then they'll tell you, "Hey, bro, like, can you get up and sit behind?" But Christ said, when you go to a place, sit on the lowest seat, so that when they lift you up, and they'll take you to the highest seat.
Yeah.
And it's that idea of like, when you go to a place, going where you're like, I'm the king in this place. And there's this thin line between like imposter syndrome and actually being overconfident. And I think the imposter syndrome can, to an extent, help you kind of just be humble.
Yeah.
Let me learn. Let me, obviously you don't have to look at it in a negative sense. You can look at it. Let me learn. Let me embrace this negativity not negativity, this like nervousness that I'm feeling, and just be able to learn, grow, and be as confident as I can in this field and own it because I deserve to be here.
That's powerful.
You still disagree on?
Yes. Nah, I'm joking. I was gonna say the overconfidence. I was gonna say plays out with the fake it till you make it. Like there are times where you really you struggle to bring out the best of yourself.
True.
And so you need that overconfidence to help push you to feel comfortable, and then like carry yourself like there was this one guy that I was working with, and it was so funny. We worked together for a week with like different companies, and then the next week he moved to the company that we were always passing by.
Okay.
And because he was in that area longer, so they flew in new guys, and he was like, we met up the next day, and he was like, you know what? None of these guys know that I'm new here. Like, because they look at me, because everyone's new, they all look at me like I know this place, like I know what I'm doing. But the truth is I don't. I've just been around here. I'm just carrying myself like I know exactly what I'm doing. I know the environment. So I'm walking around like, yeah, I know what to do. I know this. Oh, you want help with that?
Yeah.
I'll help you.
But that's the thing. So this person could be internalizing the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Where they could be feeling like, I'm not meant to be here, but how do I process it? I know I feel this way, but I'm not going to walk around like a Kembo.
Yeah.
I'm still going to walk around like I know exactly what I'm doing. Because there's a line between, and that's how you unlearn it.
You know what
I mean? Like there's a line between I feel this way, but how am I actually going to? For me, is I challenge myself to go into places that make me uncomfortable. So like intentionally, like my friend taught me this.
Go skydiving.
Shout out my boy Lee J. Because there were some stores that I was like, oh, I can't go to that store, like the pricey stores. I can't walk into that store. And this guy will literally walk into them. He's like, dude, let's walk into these stores. And walking into them just became internalized. Like, I belong to be in this place. Like, I deserve the highest quality of material, like this right now. But
do they know? I don't think they know.
They don't know.
So
we have multiple sponsors.
Gentlemen. But yeah, it's like just pretty much walking into that negatives to take away that negative thought of. So when you walk, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah, carry yourself like
you're too quiet though. Are you internalizing the imposter syndrome right now?
I'm actively listening. So
Yeah,
I'm seeing myself in all of these.
that's good.
Unlearning. I'm literally unlearning.
Yeah. How much time have we got? I think we've gone
quite over.
Like how much?
45.
All right, we have one more.
Are you gonna tell us the one that
The very last.
The very last. It's okay to be alone, but don't isolate.
That's powerful.
There's always
That's
a juxtaposition.
Why are they laughing? That's not meant to be funny.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
oops, literally.
But no, that's amazing, man.
It's okay to be alone, but do not isolate. Because this is bad influence, good advice is all about.
It's okay to be alone.
It's okay to be alone. Mental health. Let's talk about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So what do I mean? It's okay to be alone. So for me growing up, I haven't always had like, how there's people who've had like groups of friends.
Yeah.
I would fit in with anybody, right? Put me with the richest kids or whatever. I would fit in.
The cool kids.
The cool kids, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would fit in. Put me with, the guys who are hustling and, trying to strive, make it in life. I would survive. But most of the time, I would look at it and like when I'm just by myself and everyone's like with their friends or going out with their friends and just being in groups, for me, that gave me time to really observe.
Yeah.
So it's not like because isolation is you cornering yourself. It's you putting yourself in a vulnerable position to be attacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my question to you is how do you learn to be alone, but still learn to not isolate?
Joey loves the double questions, eh?
He loves
Really changed it,
double entendres. He's like, yo, do this, but you know, don't do it at the same time. That's a very good one. That's learn to be alone, but learn to not isolate. That's a very good one.
You want me to go first or?
Yeah, no, go first.
I don't know. I'm on the other side of the spectrum where I really like struggle with, or I tend to struggle with like being by myself. Because I feel like I've been by myself for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when, pretty much like I had like many friends and whatever when I was in Zambia. Then when I moved here, it was just by myself. My family, my parents are working most of the time. It's just me and myself.
Yeah.
And so when I do get around people, I kind of like getting around people and like sitting down and just talking and chatting. But at the same time, I kind of like my own space.
Shout out Chewy.
Chewy, yeah.
Chewy loves being around people.
Like it's amazing about just being around people, but also at the same, shout out to you, Chewy. At the same time, just having that space where, because sometimes I just, you know, go off and, you know,
Yeah.
but I struggle, like I just don't like the idea of gregarious beings as human beings, and we love being around people and stuff. Like we were created for community.
Yeah.
Christ was, if we look at Christ, he was with the disciples most of the time.
Yeah.
He would be around people. But then there were some times when he would just kind of like go away, step away, go and pray by himself, recharge and come back.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's that striking that balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a very good one. And recently I had someone tell me that I needed to recharge.
Yeah.
Because I'm always on the go. So
I'm always telling you that. How come you never listen to me, mate?
You'd have to take someone else to say it, eh?
Literally. Yeah.
So basically telling me I needed to slow down. I needed to step back. I needed to just rest and reset, which I don't think I've done yet. But I'm working towards. But yeah, no, it's very important because you need to step back and then, oh, this is very therapeutic. Now it's coming back to me because I need to do this because it helps you reset. You help readjust yourself. You internalize everything and then you let it out and then you just find yourself in that space where you can freely think, reset, come back with solutions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you put yourselves in those positions where you're surrounded by everyone. You don't really have time to think about what you're doing, about everything that's happening. So you need to step back and then come back with solutions to problems that you had.
To the contrary, though, like I've been spending time with myself lately because I'm just like, bro, I just need to enjoy myself.
Just need to kick back.
Enjoy like my company. And just enjoy like my baseline on myself. So I go to concerts, go to events where I'm just sitting down. But in those moments as well, it's like seeing everyone with like groups of people and they're kind of like, and it's like, damn, like, but at the same time, I enjoy that. You know, I think it's also the beauty in enjoying both.
Yeah.
It's okay to be around people, but it's also beautiful to be comfortable with yourself. Some people feel like they can't be alone, man. People in the world cannot be by themselves for 2 minutes. They need to be with someone, and I think that is such a weakness. How do we close out this session, boys? Where do we end? One last quote for the session.
One last quote. I'll let it start from that side because
hey, I'm start of the video.
I'm gonna cheat.
Your laptop just went off. Yeah,
I know, right?
The laptop said it's not working today. My quote of today is just God's pie isn't equal to 3.14. God's pie is big enough for everyone, for all of us to have a piece of it. All 7 billion people on earth to have a piece of it. So never forget that.
My one is be teachable and learn, be correctable.
My quote of today is just God's pie isn't equal to 3.14. God's pie is big enough for everyone, for all of us to have a piece of it. All 7 billion people on earth to have a piece of it. So never forget that.
My one is be teachable and learn, be correctable. Nah, I literally
We're trying to laugh at it as well. That's funny, man.
Nah, I literally had it. Nah, look, listen. Be teachable.
Look at this guy.
And the way I froze it. Be teachable and learn. It's gone.
Be correctable.
Be teachable and learn. Be correctable. Full stop.
Big man had to say, I'm going to end right there. There's another bigger podcast. Bad influence, good advice. We're here again, and thank you for listening.
Coming back to you soon.
Coming back to you soon. Much love.